welcome to Middle Age Geeks, the podcast where we review movies, talk about video games, TV shows, comics, and anything else that means we don't have to leave the house and talk to other people. My name is Phil, and I'm joined by my co-host, Daz Murphy. Daz, how are you?
Very good, man. Yeah, you're so true. And on a day like today, it is fucking scorching outside.
It's gorgeous, man.
Yeah, this weekend, we find some people are saying, "Oh, we finally got a summer. It's the last day of summer," or is it the fucking first day of summer? Because I don't remember us having a summer. But yeah, it's scorching. And in my attic conversion, which is great during the winter, I'm seriously lacking a fan in this place. I'm fucking melting. But apart from that, apart from dribbling sweat, I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. It's funny. I was going to say the same thing. I was like, if you see any sweat glistening on this big bald head of mine because it's fucking roasting. But man, I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm have to bring the dog out to the park later on and soak it all up. It's great. So yeah, for everybody at home, for this week's show, we have our movie review as our main thing, as always. And then, but before that, what we do is we'll talk about some news that's popped up that we found interesting this week, and then we'll have a little bit of a chat about what we've been playing and watching for the past week since our last episode. But yeah, so why don't we kick off with that, Des? Do you want to tell us what what kind of jumped out of the news for you this week?
Yeah, it was the Disney 23 showcase that kind of dominated the headlines over the last few days. And a lot of the stuff, and it's more kind of like announcements in the trailers, like Comic-Con are always kept in-house in the auditorium. But I saw somewhere they were leaking online. It was just like, oh, might have a little look through nefarious means. And because the Daredevil Born Again trailer was shown, which and when you're seeing these videos online, they're very cleverly on YouTube or something, like they're hidden inside a video inside a video inside a video, so it's a really tiny little square in the bottom corner or something, so you have to zoom in, so the quality is awful. But it looks really good after the kind of reshoots and when they pivoted direction. I thought it was on a road to nowhere for a while, but it looks really good. Charlie Cox is back and bad and brutal as ever. Kingpin is back, Punisher, and it just looks like it's back on form after, Daredevil popping up in like She-Hulk that I never saw, but I heard it was atrocious, and just an Echo as well. Yeah, just kind of PG-13 versions of the character, but it looks really good. It finished with like 30 seconds of just brutal combat, just like, oh yes, please. And it's got a nice tagline as well. It's like, the devil's work is never done. Just really good. So
sweet.
Really looking forward to that. And while I was on this guy's page, I said, I might just try and check and see if I could see the final or the Fantastic Four footage that we were talking about last week, I think, from Comic-Con, and they had it, and that looks fucking cool. Like, it was all put together from, like, they hadn't even started shooting yet, so it's all kind of test footage and just, little mock-up and stuff, but they have it looks really good. It's got the family dynamic, looks really good. There's a final shot of like Galactus coming down looking through a skyscraper window.
Yeah, it's a final tease.
And like, oh, fucking hell, that's really, really cool. And it just looks bonkers, that kind of retro future alternative 1960s tech with their flying cars and stuff. It just looks, I'm really, really excited about that. What I'm not excited about is Ironheart. this movie that I don't know if it's a movie or a TV show. It's like no one's asked for this, and no one really wants it. It's kind of Z-list character from, the female Iron Man from Wakanda Forever that just hit like a fucking lead balloon in that movie. She just comes across as a bit of a dickhead and arrogant.
So they've left it too late as well. Do you think, Des? Have her in that
footage was shown in, I think it was 2022 at this same Disney thing. They showed footage of that, and it's 2 years and nothing's happening. Just no one cares. I don't think people care too much about the character at the time. Maybe in a movie, but not enough to kind of go, I wouldn't mind seeing fucking 10 episodes of that or a movie dedicated to her. But as you said, they left it too long, and I don't think I think it's just going to completely flop. They just missed the boat completely, if there ever was a boat. Yeah. But what was fucking amazing, and I didn't see footage of this, just read about it. I didn't even know this is really in the works. The third Tron movie, Tron Ares, a trailer was shown for that by Jeff Bridges himself, who obviously like loves the franchise. He's just dying to get these fucking movies made. He's always talking them up, or he loves chatting about them whenever he's interviewed or anything like that. But he was up on stage chatting about it, and the trailer apparently blew the fucking house down because it's Jared Leto stars as the rogue AI program Ares, who apparently by some means enters the real world. So we have kind of light cycles in the real world, and fucking, you know, all the Tron crazy shit coming into our world, which sounds fucking fantastic. Massive light shifts and all that kind of stuff. Sounds cool. And Nine Inch Nails are doing the soundtrack, taken over from Daft Punk, and they played like just the logo came up, and the sound, there was about, I think, 15-20 seconds of the kind of nude theme was played. And even on just a Twitter video of it on headphones, it was like, oh, fuck yeah, that sounds fucking fantastic. So yeah, that was mainly like Toy Story 5 was, I just, bring it on. I'll watch them all day long. Avatar 3, Incredibles 3, which that if they do that right, they could have one of the best trilogies around on their hands. Also, Avatar 3 got its official title, Avatar Fire and Ash, that's due out next year. And then I want to pick your brain then on, I don't know if you saw there was some Star Wars TV announcements like Andor Season 2. I think that's the best thing they've done in Star Wars in about 10 years.
And I think it's the link up as well. Like they're starting to bring characters that were in Rogue One, like Forrest Whitaker's coming back, Alan Tudyk's back. Like
that's brilliant.
Starting to make him into the character we would have seen in Rogue One, which is cool. You know what I mean? And Ben Mendelsohn, fucking hell, man, I'll just watch him in anything.
He's not in enough stuff.
Yeah.
But there was
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's just because, as we've said recently, especially with regards to the Acolyte, that it's Star Wars has been in a difficult spot, you know, because it's putting out some good stuff. Like, I mean, you see, like, The Mandalorian is good, and Andor is good, but then put out some shit stuff, you know, as well. So but I don't know. It could be positive. It could be positive stuff with this, and
like
the
new
released Star Wars game coming out as well.
Yeah, that Star Wars game is supposed to be pretty good. But then, they released a trailer, Skeleton Crew, which looks like they're trying to go in a new direction, following a load of kids in the Star Wars world that find a ship or go off in a ship. And it's kind of a mix of Flight of the Navigator and the Goonies in Star Wars, in the Star Wars universe, which kind of like, okay, like they're going, I like when they go away from the original trilogy and show a bigger world. Yeah. But at the end of the trailer, Jude Law turns up and he's a Jedi, and it's like, okay, it's probably going to be naff. But that was everything that kind of I came across that week or this week. How about yourself?
Yeah, I have a couple of bits of news. The first one involves two movies that we've done quite recently on the podcast, which is Long Legs and Furiosa. And that's that Long Legs has now made more at the US box office than Furiosa, which I just find nuts.
Oh, that is fucking bananas. How is that possible?
Isn't it?
Yeah,
when you think about last year, with how hyped up both of us were for Furiosa, and like Long Legs wasn't on my radar at all. It's wild.
That's
such a huge
so
production.
bad. Like, that's the end of that franchise. Like, they might get a TV series or something maybe out of it, but it's just horrible to see fucking movies
Isn't
like
it?
that. We go to see, like, why did no one go to fucking see the film? Maybe we were talking about that, all that shit about like, oh, it doesn't start at Max and blah blah blah, whatever. We see the trailer and you go, I'm going to see that. Why would you not go to see it? This fucking, the first movie was brilliant. Doesn't matter if fucking Mad Max isn't in it. It's the same director, it's the same fucking world. It's disappointing.
And it's pure cinema too. Like it's one
100%.
To see, and it's not one to go, you know what, I'll just wait. I'll wait for it to hit the small screen streaming, and I don't really need to see it. This is one to see in the cinema. So it's nuts to me that it's I don't get me wrong. They're both great movies. It's just I would have thought it would be the other way around. But I want you had mentioned a few things from D23, so I just wanted to touch on a few things from HBO. They kind of did their lineup, you know, going into 24-25, and we got some footage from The Last of Us season 2.
Oh yeah,
like, and some of them, if you look at it, are like beat for beat from the game. Like the part in the underground with the, you know, going to their train car and the red lights in the background looks absolutely spot on. Like it looks like they're staying quite faithful. Yeah. Although I don't know who Catherine O'Hara is playing. I'm not sure what the character is that she's playing. I'm all for introducing new characters if they work out well. I thought Melanie Linsky was brilliant in put her in season 1. So
Yeah,
what did you think of the footage?
oh, it gets the hair in the back of your neck tingling a bit. It's just nice that it's coming, and it's coming fast. And I'm just excited, more so even for Ali watching it, because she loved the first season, just knows nothing about the game, and just to see how they do it. When is this, maybe shock going to happen? But I love just that line of dialogue when Joel's like, "Who are you?" And she just goes, I'm your consequence." And it's like, oh yeah, fucking hell, it's coming.
I
It's
wonder. Yeah, I
brilliant.
wonder what happens. Will they take a different direction? You know what I mean? Like, will they take a different direction with it because of the TV to make the TV audience happy? I don't know. Like, but it looks
Will
so
that
much of
be
it's beat for beat,
season
like
cliffhanger or something like that?
yeah, and you see the whisperer fucking people, whatever they're called. God, I always forget their name. The people who the scars.
Yeah.
And Abby crawling under the fence and all that kind of stuff. But they just look so similar to the game. So you could just I know Craig Mazin is directing it, but obviously fucking Neil Druckmann is heavily involved in making sure everything looks exactly like the game.
Yeah.
But it looks cool. The other thing is there was a little bit more footage of the Penguin, some footage of Game of Thrones spin-off. And to be honest, I'm not even up to date with House of Dragons. Like the fucking last season or two of Game of Thrones soured me on that whole thing. Like, so.
Me too.
And then the other thing I wanted to touch on, there's a couple of trailers, right? One of them, I'm not sure if you watched this after I said it to you, is Megan Fox, a trailer for a Megan Fox, their movie called Subservience.
I didn't watch it. Yeah.
Oh God, like this is what we're gonna have to do on the show because it looks so terrible. It's basically Megan Fox. They've done this in a bunch of different movies and even TV shows where they've gotten like a robot helper in the house that's like looks exactly like a person, but just fucking, like I think Gemma Chan was in one, and I think there's a few. There was one called Tim, and it's been done a bunch of times. Basically, your fucking robot butler kind of thing. But this robot person lives in the house happens to look like fucking Megan Fox, and in the trailer, like she basically seduces the dude, and you see him getting it on with her and all this kind of stuff. Like. To be fair, like, if I had if I had a robot, if I had a house robot that looked like Megan Fox, okay, look, there might be times where you'd have to go, okay, that robot's looking well. I'm not sure, knowing full well that I purchased a robot that I'd been having sex with it. This dude is just straight in there based on the trailer. Like, it's a bit like having sex with your fucking George Foreman, although that would probably hurt. But you know what I mean? It's in an age where those things are common and available. Yeah. Then this is basically another piece of technology for your house. Okay, granted, it looks like Megan Fox, but it's a fucking piece of machinery in your gaff.
It's a very attractive Hoover.
To knowingly get fully aroused by it and then fuck it, it's just I don't know. People stick their dicks in anything, I suppose. And then the other trailer was one for Blink Twice, which has been directed by Zoe Kravitz. Which I think this looks like a lot of fun. This could be another one to do. It's like a dark comedy mystery thriller. But the cast is quite good. Like it's Channing Tatum, Gina Davis, Adria Arjona, Haley Joel Osment, Christian Slater, nice. Kyle MacLachlan. Like it looks like good crack. But yeah, that's all I had in by way of news. So look, what we can do then is move on to what we've been playing and watching. So Daz, what have you been getting stuck into this week? Any more indie games for us, or what have you been getting into?
Well, I ended up inadvertently playing some games with my daughter because I was scouring through the PlayStation Store and she was sitting beside me and she's just like, "Oh, what's that? And she saw Paw Patrol and I was like, "Oh, fuck. Here we go." So I had to download Paw Patrol, but then she says like, "Oh, what's the police thing?" And there was I never thought I'd end up playing these games. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto. Hand the controller to her. See you later. No, this thing called Police Simulator, and it's shocking. I'm not into these kind of simulator games, and never thought I would be. Yeah. But download a Police Simulator to see, like, oh, maybe give her the controls and whatever. It starts off, and you're just a cop going around looking for people who've parked incorrectly and giving them parking tickets. Beating
up minorities.
Yeah, just being an asshole. My daughter's just like, this is boring. And she's like, actually, yeah, it is fucking boring. 15 minutes on that. I was like, fuck that. So then when I went out of that, she said, oh, what about the digger one? It's just like, oh, what the fuck is she talking about now? And it was Construction Simulator. It's made by the same
brilliant.
people. Just like, oh, okay, she likes diggers. Maybe that'll be a bit of crack. And we played that for about half an hour because she would laughing her heads off. She was having immense fun driving diggers off bridges and just, causing absolute fucking carnage and stuff. And she couldn't get the hang of, because it's the left stick on the controller is rotating the camera, and anything she's ever played that doesn't do anything. So she's just like spinning the camera around her character for ages. I was in hysterics laughing. It was fucking great. But two of those games, are pretty shit, and they're not meant for me or a 4-year-old. So, but I ended up
maybe
playing,
somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, somewhere in the middle. Yeah, I ended up playing fucking Paw Patrol with her, which I played before on Game Pass, but now since I got rid of Game Pass after the Xbox shit show with their companies, I said, like, we'll play the racing game again. I don't know if I told you before. Like, she wanted to play it as a character. That's you have to unlock. So I said, well, so I had to play Paw Patrol for 2 hours through the campaign to unlock these characters. Just going, oh my fucking god, that's my Saturday afternoon. Like, Jesus Christ. And I did it twice because I did it before on the Xbox Game Pass, and I had to do it again on PlayStation. So I played like 5 hours of Paw Patrol, and then gave it to her, and she had a blast with it. But
Brilliant.
Apart from that, I downloaded The Outer Wilds again. I don't know if you ever played that. I'm not sure if it's an indie game or it's like a AA game, where it's one of these. It's always confused with Outer Worlds, which is one of those.
That's the one I played. That's the one I played. Yeah.
But Outer Wilds is great. Like, you start just kind of an explorer on this little planet, and you basically go up and you're traversing kind of a solar system. You go around different planets, and you're trying to. It's like a mystery space exploration kind of game, but there's a caveat is that like every 12 or 13 minutes there's a supernova that just destroys everything, and you're back to square one again, and you start again, but you're the only person that knows this is happening. So it's kind of a race against time to try and find out what's happening, and what has happened in the past in this crazy solar system. But it's
cool.
It's cool. It's kind of just, you just meander around and have a bit of fun. But it's it's a really good game to dig your teeth into. I played it before and got about 7 or 8 hours into it and just fell off it. So when I started again, I'm kind of remembering certain bits, but I'm not remembering the mystery. So it's kind of playing it again. But it's a lot of good fun. What I watched, I haven't really watched anything apart from the first 25 minutes of Highlander 2. After last week's episode.
Did not.
Yeah. I had to get stuck into it because a bit of feedback from one of our listeners, Gavin, who said he loves Highlander and loved the episode, but he said you should check out. Have you watched Highlander 2 recently? Because he said he just mentioned something about hoverboards, and I went, what? Hoverboards? And remember I was saying last week that I remember I remember a lot of Highlander 1 and Highlander 2, and I kind of had put them together into one movie in my head. Yeah. But I didn't know anything about hoverboards. And then when I go back, and it starts in the future, which is 2024, and I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. And it's fucking bananas. Like, they completely changed the lore completely. Now the Highlanders are from a different planet in the past.
Yeah.
They go to the future, to Earth. They change everything basically just to get Sean Connery back. And it's crazy. Like, there's an old MacLeod. He ends up fighting these crazy futuristic looking dudes from the past on hoverboards in an alleyway. That's kind of as far as I got. And it's mental. It's just like, I will watch it all, probably in bite-sized bits, but I just had to turn off, just kind of going, I don't think I can't spend 2 hours watching this. This is fucking madness. So, but, I'll try, but I do remember it's a horrendous film, but I am enjoying it in bite-sized
fair play.
How about yourself? What are you getting up to?
Well, no really new games bar Marvel Snap. That's been a good bit of fun. I'm enjoying that. Mentioned last week the social aspect of because now because we're in the little Reddit group, some of the dudes in there are sharing decks they like to play. Sharing reach trick. Why don't you try this one, and so people are on there yapping and so it's adding a bit more fun to the game. So that's kind of cool. And then just the same thing, just dip it into the PlayStation. Have not touched the Xbox in I don't know how long.
Yeah.
With regards to watching, I rewatched an older movie that we kind of we mentioned on the show in passing, which was The Cell, Jennifer Lopez. I decided to rewatch that.
Movie.
Just yeah, and I just it's just one of the most visually striking movies I've ever seen. Like it's absolutely gorgeous, and even the effects in it for because it's whatever fucking 25 years old nearly. Like it looks amazing still, and it's just it's someone's vision, obviously that the director's vision that he's blurted out onto a fucking page, and it's just it's grotesque, but there's absolute beauty in it as well. It's just it's a mental fever dream of a movie, and I really really like it as a horror, as a movie in general. Like it's got that fucking serial killer hunt vibe, but at the same time it's fucking alternate reality dreamscape horror. Like it's a really cool movie for anybody who hasn't seen it. Like it's worth a watch. And I'm just going to say it, Jennifer Lopez looks fine. But it
doesn't age, that lady.
Yeah, it's a really really worth a watch if you haven't seen it. I didn't see it on streaming. Well, mind you, I didn't even look. I just jumped onto Plex and watched it on there.
Yeah.
And what else did I watch? Oh yeah, I watched this movie, because of course I did, on Amazon called No Way Up. It's a shark movie, and like right, so it's a really bad movie. But I have to say the effects team did a great job. Like it's only I'd never even heard of it. Right, it got a budget of $2 million, and I'd say half of that was probably Colin Meaney for the fucking one day of shooting they had him on the thing for. Yeah, but it made 4.5 million worldwide. I'd never even heard of it.
Is it like a serious movie, or is it Sharknado?
Oh no, it's a serious movie. Basically, they're in. It just popped up on Amazon, and I just thought, oh sharks, I'm in. And basically, like they're in a plane. Plane goes down, but it goes down in the water. Doesn't get torn apart totally. It's almost intact. But when it floats down, it creates an air bubble inside the plane. The plane is like this at an angle, and so these people are survived at the back in this thing. And then it just robs loads of stuff from different shark movies. How they manage, some of them manage to get out is robbed straight from Deep Blue Sea, and the stuff stolen. But it's just most of it takes place in this little cabin. It's just a bunch of bad actors in a small space, and yeah, it's hammy and terrible. But like it's just honestly, I would say check it out just to see how well the effects team did. With the small budget, like the opening sequence of this rolling waves under the water and stuff, really simple text. This actually looks really, really good. But it's a bad movie. But that's all I've been getting into. Apart from what I mentioned last week to you, I would get into back into watching Severance because I'd only started it before. I'm a few episodes in, and it's incredible.
So hopefully, perfect show.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to having a chat about that with you once I've finished watching it. But yeah, I suppose with those two sections out of the way, why don't we move on then to our main movie, which this week is called Trap 2024, M. Night Shyamalan, and Daz is going to take us through that one. So Daz, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Okay, thanks, Phil. This week our movie is Trap, and there was actually two movies out this week, and we had to decide. It was Borderlands and Trap, and when we saw Borderlands opened with fucking 0%, which went to 3%, 5%. I think it's on 10% now, and Trap was on mid 50s, 54, 55%. We were saying, right, okay, Borderlands looks like it's not even so bad. It's good. We'll go with Trap because even if it was not a very good movie, like the trailer, it just seemed like it'd be intriguing and a bit of tension, a bit of M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong, mastery, if you want to call it that. Firstly, I just set up the movie. We'll do our spoiler-free section, which I think will be quite short because I don't think anyone should see this movie. But we'll set it up first, and then I'll get Phil's opinion. It is written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong. Starring Josh Hartnett, Ariel Donahue, and Selika Shyamalan, who is his daughter, which I only realised later on in the movie. The synopsis is Josh Hartnett plays Cooper, who takes his daughter to a concert. And the FBI used this to set a trap for a serial killer called the Butcher, who is indeed Josh Hartnett. How will he escape this trap? Oh my God. An unlikely hero then rises to confront the killer in a series of baffling and implausible scenes and saves the fucking day. That's not in the synopsis. That was added by myself. Myself and Phil saw this separately, and and I love there's just one word text. We try not to go into it after we see movies separately, so we can have a good bit of chat on here. But this simple text from Phil was like, we should have seen Borderlands. And I was like, I was just about to text the fucking same thing because we saw it around the same time. Yeah, lots of thoughts on this movie. What were your thoughts coming out of the cinema?
I think they shouldn't have called it Trapped. You should have just called it fucking Nepotism, because this movie is about his fucking daughter. It's like a fucking
Promo
2-hour. Yeah, it's a 2-hour promo for her. It's basically like Chappie was, for Deanne Ford. It's basically that. It's fucking, come on, mate. Like it's so fucking obvious. But like, and for anybody at home who's thinking, oh, it's M. Night Shyamalan plot, will I be able to follow along? Don't worry, because at all times someone is going to be telling you exactly what's going on at every point in the movie. Like, this could have easily been an audiobook. If they tell you what's going on so much, it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's boring as shit as well.
Oh man, like I was bored to fucking tears watching this movie, and I saw it actually in a small cinema, which is packed enough. There's a couple of moments where I groaned and audibly went, "Oh fuck off!" loud enough to get a chuckle from the crowd. It's just like, I'm normally kind of really quiet in cinemas, open jellies or eating popcorn at the right moment, so I don't, annoy people or whatever. But I couldn't stop. Just it's a fucking baffling movie. I never want to use the word hate, but I fucking hate this movie. It's I just thought it's rubbish. Like, the only positive, I'll get one positive out of the way. The only positive is that when you see the trailer, that whole thing, oh, did it give away too much? They showed that he's the killer and whatever. That's told to you in the first fucking 90 seconds. So they get that out of the way. And then the rest is implausible convenience, nonsense. No one in this movie lives in a real world. No one interacts or talks like real fucking human beings at any point in the movie. There's a trap. Like, there's so many people just divulge information to Josh Hartnett. They're so kind. They're so nice with these information, whether it's an employee or a fucking SWAT FBI team. And it's all centered around his daughter. And like, so much of the first half of this movie is just listening to her sing songs, and it's like, and
scream.
And scream, yeah, and a lot of the first half of the movie is finding more, like, the script is trying to find more reasons that Josh can leave his daughter and go and make the plot happen for some reason. And the way he talks to her, like the way he talks to her, he talks to her like, I'm trying to coax my dog into fucking behaving himself. It's wouldn't it be great if we did this? Yeah. Oh my God, wouldn't it be that? Like, she's a fucking teenager. Like, what are you talking to her like she's a baby for? It's just, it's that's ridiculous. So like, Josh Hartnett is, like, God bless him. Like, his resurgence has been fantastic. I've always loved him, and he kind of dropped out of Hollywood for a while, but it's great to see him back recently in some great roles and fucking Oppenheimer and stuff like that. But like, he's doing his best, and there's maybe one moment near the end, like the last 10 minutes, where some of this character that I think he thinks he has in his head kind of comes out, maybe the darker side of it. But the rest of it is, and it's not really his acting, because he's doing as best he can. It's the fucking script, and it's the direction, like, because as you're saying, the way he's talking, and it's just, he's not believable in any way. I know he's just this double life, this duality kind of thing, but we never really get to see the darker side. It's just him in dad mode. But yeah, he's just like, at the concert and kind of going, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we just went outside for a while? And just like, what are you talking about? Like, you're at a concert. Just his daughter's like, obviously, no, you're acting weird. And she says that about 40 minutes into the movie. He's acting weird within the first minute. It's just like, what the fuck is this? All the interactions are so awkward, and it's
and as well as that, they went 12s he went
Yeah.
12s with it, right? And I say it so he can get more people to watch him and his dumbass his daughter,
Mm.
because that's what it's mostly about, is her being this person who's up on stage singing about. Because this guy is called the Butcher, and you see that in the trailer. We know that he's a serial killer, as you said, from the fucking
No one
trailer,
dies
from
in the
everything. We
movie.
know that's what the that's. But
Nobody
like,
dies.
not just that, we don't see him. We don't see him at any previous like crime scenes, or then people showing up and going, "Oh, look, another body from the thing." There's none of that. Like, there's no violence. There's no blood. Like this, it's just there's none of that stuff at all. It's like, but this is a movie about a fucking serial killer that's known around the town as the Butcher because he's killed all these different people. Yet, nothing. We get to see none of that, and it's so we can keep the PG mark on it, which is not something he has in his other movies. There's plenty of fucking gore, violence,
this is a
cursing
promo
stuff.
movie for his daughter's singing career, essentially.
Yeah, like exactly. Like the last movie I saw of his, the Knock on the Cabin or whatever it's called, not a great movie, as I mentioned before on the podcast, but plenty violent, which is one of his trademarks. There's plenty of violence in that, and fucking Unbreakable, in even the horror of the things of like the Sixth Sense and stuff. It's that's what he has. He's not afraid to shy away from having shocking stuff. Whereas this, he's completely changed it, despite it being about a serial killer, just so it's more accessible. So his daughter's fucking music career is more accessible to everybody, and it's just. And some of the stuff, her acting in it, man, was really rough to watch. Like the scenes where they have another character talking, and rather than me seeing that character talking, all I'm getting is a shot of her face and her reaction,
and the other person out of focus
like,
in the background. Yeah,
like, and it's just like this is my shocked face. I'm so shocked right now. Like she's just like,
like she spends the movie either singing, and I mean, not really into pop music as much, whatever. She's no fucking Taylor Swift or whatever, but some of the tunes you're like, okay, whatever.
Taylor Swift,
yeah, Taylor Swift, Swifties, man. But yeah, she does that well enough, I guess. It's fucking singing on stage, but then when she's required to act, and she attempts to do a lot more acting than I thought was going to happen constantly throughout the movie. It's just like, why is she in this movie so much? And then she's in it more and more and more. That's no spoiler. She's in it a lot, but she does like the singing, and then her other face is just like open her mouth slightly and just raise her eyebrows, and that's like, whoa.
Yeah. Well, she does a little bit of a head shake as well.
Oh yeah. That's from an acting masterclass.
She's having a fit. Like
it's just it's very poor. But my main problem with this, it's boring and all that. But the setup, and we'd said the reason we chose this is because the premise is when it fully unfolds, like even the trap from the cops is preposterous. It's a stupid fucking idea.
Ridiculous.
It's absolutely ridiculous. But from the trailer, you're going, okay, you're trapped, and how are you going to get out or whatever? And you're thinking, along the lines of, you're like old seasons of 24 or Prison Break or something like, something happens, you're you're trapped somewhere and something's happening, and you're going, how are they going to get out of that? Where's the clever writing? That's going to be cool. They're almost caught, maybe they escape, but everything he does works. And sometimes we don't even see it work, and just like, well, how did he fucking do that? It doesn't matter. We just cut after and he did it, so it's all good, yeah. But I just thought there might be a little bit of tension or a little bit of something, but because everything he does works, and the police don't really seem to know who they're looking for anyway, in multiple scenes. But it's bafflingly, alarmingly, and just maddeningly devoid of tension. There's no tension at any point in this movie, in any scene ever. It's just like, what the fuck is happening? How it's harder to do that than it is to just accidentally have some tension. So I don't know what was happening in this movie. Just like, what are you trying to say to us?
And even like the closest thing we come to like any sort of violence, say towards the very, very end, really is his run-ins with the other mom who's pointless, like this other one who's kind of a dick, you know what I mean? And it's just, she's pointless. No reason for her to be in it. There's no reason for any of that stuff to be in it. I don't know. We should really get into the spoiler section, because then we can really tear it apart. But I don't recommend this movie at all. It's so, as you said, Daz, the convenience of everything coming off from, it's so lazy, which is bizarre to say that from M. Night Shyamalan, because not lazy isn't the word I'd use from. Like, he might be able to end up to go off on the deep end with some of this mad shit.
Yeah.
But I would never say lazy, whereas that's what this comes across, and it's just a vehicle for his daughter to do her music shit. It's such a pity that Josh Hartnett didn't get a better movie because the premise, like the idea of him being in somewhere and having to try and find a way, is cool. But for me, he needs to. You see in the trailer, he sees all these fucking cops and all these on the way in. For me, they need to arrive after he's already in, so he's not spooked. Because if I am an actual killer and I'm going along and I see fucking a load of army dudes and fucking guns and cops all over the place, I'm going to go, probably not the best place for me. And I just wouldn't go. I'd come up with an excuse from the daughter. I'd go, geez, fuck, I think I'm having a fucking heart attack. I'd do anything to not go in there. Whereas he's just, that ain't normal as anything. Like it's just bollocks, really.
He just never seems that panicked. At any moment, you're going to go, maybe, okay, we're going to see that he's some kind of fucking Jason Bourne serial killer here. He's going to fucking come up with really cool plans to evade some tricky, tense scenarios and scenes. Like there's one scene, I think it's in the trailer or whatever, where he gets a key card, goes back into a room, and it's filled with cops. And you're like, I remember going, oh, fuck. And then he just goes, oh. So he just walks over and just listens to the cops briefing, and you're like, what? Wait, why are you not like fucking? Why is this not a terrifying scenario for you? It's just fucking baffling. Anyway,
even if he's a sociopath, like I mean, it's still even to put it on that level like that, because that's bravado and stuff to go and actually do something as big as that. That's not the way a sociopath, being a psychopath, would act.
No.
Anyway, doesn't matter. We'll move on to the main stuff.
What would you give it star-wise?
I'd give it 1 because it's so boring. It's not even one you can throw on and gonna have a laugh at how ridiculous it is and how because it's too dull for that to be an option for me. I think so. Yeah, I go 1 star. Not impressed at all.
1 star for me too. It's an exercise in ego and delusion. It's so lame. It's so lazy. The acting is fucking appalling. The choices they make, to like. It's no spoiler, but halfway through the movie, the locations change, and it just fucking falls off a cliff, if it was ever on that cliff. Towards the second half of the movie, it was just like baffling choice after baffling choice, and I couldn't believe I was watching this. So yeah, 1 star. Do not waste your fucking time, because it's an hour 45, and this would have been a better 2-minute short film.
Even if it shows up on your streaming, or if it shows up on Netflix, just cancel your Netflix account, because fuck them for putting it on there. It's terrible.
Yeah, they're doing you bad. So yeah, let's get into the spoiler section. Spoiler alert: this fucking movie is still fucking shit. It's even worse. Oh god. So we'll try go through it, but there's so much hate in all my notes. I was just like, angry fucking writing, that we may meander all over the fucking shop. But yeah, so like you've seen the trailers, Josh Hartnett, who's we call him Cooper, and his daughter Riley on the way to the concert. And as Phil was saying, he can see that there's maybe like the singer is obviously, she's played up as a really big fucking deal, and she's like a Taylor Swift-esque or whatever. So it makes sense that there might be some security around the place. But he is noticing that, there are a lot of cops around the place. And there's a moment actually when, just before getting into the concert, they, with a lot of other people, they go up on a bridge to look down to see the singer come in off the bus. Yeah. And even then, they're all screaming. And even at that point, and at this point, I didn't know that this is his daughter. It was only after Googling fucking halfway through the movie. But, she just kind of ignores him and just walks all the way, and just walks up to the door, and at the last minute turns and waves. And even at that point, just going, what a fucking dickhead. All your fans are shouting and waving at you. Just look at them. They're like fucking 10 meters away. Give them a look and a fucking wave. So her as a character started off on the wrong foot with me. But yeah, Daddy is noticing lots of cops. And when they get into we're informed of his alter ego very quickly as he goes to the bathroom. We see him check what you see in the trailer, checks his phone. There's an app, and it's a security feed footage of some guy trapped in a basement somewhere. And I say trapped, I mean he's walking around the basement freely and all this kind of stuff. And
he's on a chain, I think there's a chain on him.
He's on a chain. Okay, yeah. I don't know. That's interesting how later developments, that's an interesting point. But yeah, as I said, it's the one good point that all this is kind of revealed to us quickly, proving that nothing's going to be spoiled in the fucking trailer. But while he's returning from the bathroom, he bumps into this mother of Jodie, who is Riley's friend from school, and there's some kind of shit that has happened with them, and this is this kind of fucking
Yeah, it's
subplot that
teenage
goes
girl
absolutely
stuff, right?
fucking nowhere. And there's an awkward conversation between Cooper and the mum. And this mother is yeah, it's just I don't know why the fuck she's in the movie. I think these moments are supposed to be funny or something like that, because it's just awkward, and it's just horrible to watch. You just roll your eyes going, why? Like, what is this setting up? I just don't know what the fuck is going on. But then we see FBI have like fully kind of surrounded all the stadium now that everyone is, and the fucking the show is starting. And then we just get a lot of scenes of his daughter singing, like lengthy scenes where they're just
Yeah.
singing away. And did you know that she was his daughter from the off, right? Did you?
Before the movie, well, I knew the movie was coming out that she was in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'd seen some people online, just that was one of their worries going in, saying that, oh, is the daughter, how much of a role is she going to play, etc., etc. And I was like,
Yeah.
maybe it'll just be a small piece. He's just given her a small role to kind of, oh, that's her up on stage, but we won't actually get into the importance of her. How very, very wrong I was. But like, it's not just that it's full looks at her up on stage and she's doing whatever fucking pop stars do with her dancing crew and all the rest of it. But when it cuts back as well, it's just so many scenes of Riley screaming as the rest of the girls in the crowd are all fucking screaming, and it's just her and her face and her going over and over again with how excited she is. You're like, what? Okay, fine. Like, we've just wasted 5 minutes watching this poxy song and these kids jumping around. Where's the fucking dead people? Where's the cops
movie
closing in on them? Like, yeah.
But yeah. But there's a moment as well where the what's Lady Raven? We'll just call her Lady Raven. She's M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, where she stops the crowd and she's talking to the crowd. And I was thinking, oh, this is some kind of setup for some foreshadowing or whatever. She's talking about, about forgiving people in your life and releasing them and all this stuff. And straight away I'm thinking, ooh, is this a foreshadowing for Riley's going to have to say this to her dad at some point after, find out he's a fucking psycho, something like that. It's never mentioned again. It's absolute. It's just a scene to show Lady Raven's really touching side or whatever. It's just a fucking promo for her. It's just, oh my god. But anyway, when he goes back in, he's Cooper looks around. He sees there's more security than I guess there would be at a gig like this, and they're kind of pulling people out of the crowd and taking them out the exits. And he's kind of going, okay, getting a bit curious here now. Then they go to the merch to get some merch, to get a T-shirt. I don't know at one point.
Oh yeah, like this.
They keep leaving the concert.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's it. Look, this is a show. This isn't like a matinee thing where you go and you have your halftime break or you have your thing with it. Yeah, the full concert. People are fucking walking around. Like when he leaves her. Okay, as you said at the start, that he leaves her a few times at their seats to go off and go. I have to go and do this. I have to go and do that. Every time he goes, the fucking whole outside is full of people. Like, it's crowded full of people who supposedly should be in. They're out there to watch a gig, which should really be maybe maximum an hour and a half, maybe long. You'd see pop act might do. We're not talking Bruce Springsteen here. To knock out 3 hours. Like, this is, and yet they're up fucking wandering around the whole fucking time. And as you said, the merch stand is one of the most mental stuff. His conversation with this dude. Anyway, sorry, you go on.
You could kind of tell it from the trailer. Like, the guy just is very forthcoming with information, knows a lot about all this kind of stuff. So yeah, they go to the merch stand. Yeah, exactly. How the fuck is just a fucking employee selling T-shirts? Just like, oh my god. But anyway, when they're trying to get a T-shirt, there's another girl trying to get a T-shirt, and there's only one medium left or whatever. And one of the other girls at the queuing is just like a bit of a fucking ratty bitch, and he's like, I want it, I was here first. So obviously Josh Hartnett just doesn't want a fucking scene or whatever, so he says, oh, let her have it, we'll get the next one. And this T-shirt fucking merch salesman guy is taken aback by that. He's just like, oh my God, like the wholesomeness. You just don't have good families like you around. You know, he's acting like this guy's just like fucking cured cancer or something. It's just like, he's just, oh my God, you know what I'm going to do for you, good sir? Just like, when one comes in or when we get there's boxes in the back, I'm going to save one for you. Okay. You know, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, oh, that's very nice of you, sir. Like, he's a really, really nice guy. They go back to the gig or whatever. And then
Oh
they
no!
leave
Before he
again.
goes back, it's before he goes back to the gig, isn't that? He
Oh,
calls him over and asks
Sorry.
him.
Yeah. He asked him
Yeah,
about
he just before.
from the trailer.
Yeah,
He
there's a lot of
asked him about,
security.
what's the
Yeah, a lot of
story?
security
What's the
around.
story?
Anyways, I'm not really supposed to say anything, and not only does he know everything, because I get it, the staff might be told, listen, to be an extra police presence. They don't have to be told what it is. Extra police presence because we're worried about, I don't know, an attack or a
Anything.
bomb.
They don't need to know
attack.
anything.
Nothing's going to happen. They don't need to know anything. But he knows the FBI's plan, not just that the cops are there. He's like, so the FBI know that this whole thing is a big setup to catch him because they got a tip off. He's going to be here. Why the fuck would they surround the whole place? If you're trying to set a trap for somebody, you don't fucking post the whole thing.
Merch.
Don't tell the t-shirt guy. You don't have policemen and army guys, SWAT teams, the whole place covered in people. Go, yeah, you won't notice this on his way into the fucking place. Like it's the FBI are morons. Like, but just the fact that this t-shirt dude knows everything, like it's just
yeah.
Anyway,
it's baffling, and that's the one part in the trailer you're just going, yeah, it doesn't really sit well in the trailer. But after his chat with this t-shirt guy, we just call him t-shirt guy. He goes back to Riley, and they get some drinks, and then like Cooper does do things in this movie. One involves like chips and a fryer, and the other is this one where he just goes over and there's a drunk girl standing by standing by the stairs, and these are all in the trailer, I believe. And he just goes over and just pushes her down the fucking stairs. So just like, what? Like in full view of a lot of people, just push her down the fucking thing, just obviously to see what would happen or whatever. But when he does that, he's looking outside. And I think that's the moment where he's just like, wouldn't it be cool if we just went outside for a bit or something? She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, we're here for the concert. And it's like...
But she says what we're all thinking. Multiple times she says, you're acting weird.
Like,
you're acting
what
weird.
Are you fucking on about? You're acting really fucking weird. But like, yeah, he noticed they're all fucking outside. So when they go back to the concert, there's a moment where some other singer comes from, like, where Cooper and his daughter are sitting, is right in the aisle, and there's some underground fucking trapdoor thing, and trap opens up from the ground, revealing another singer, and yeah, whatever. And he's looking into it, and he's just going, okay. And he says to his daughter, he's just like, hey, look at that. Isn't that cool? I wonder where that goes. And she's like, again, you're acting weird. It probably goes, tunnel backstage or something. He goes, wouldn't it be cool if we just jumped in there and see where it goes? Wouldn't that be cool? He's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? She's going to go, yeah, okay, that sounds a great idea, Dad. You're not acting like a total fucking psychopath. It's just, and it's not like it's clever writing where his kind of psychopathic tendencies are coming through. This makes no fucking sense that anyone would talk like this whatsoever. If he's freaked out or whatever, it should be something about, does he leave his daughter or not? Is that the fucking challenge? Does he see a way out and take it and just leave his daughter there or whatever? There's no fucking tension at all. It's just like he's obviously not going to just jump down this trapdoor with his fucking daughter. Like,
Thousands of people who can see them.
Yeah. And I thought, is that going to come in later? Again, trapdoor never fucking comes in at all later, because when he escapes later on, it's far more inventive. Anyway,
being generous.
He goes back to he goes back to the t-shirt guy, and he's like, hey, how are you? Yeah, I think there's a box in back. Let's go. And he says, hey, why don't you come with me? Let's go. Why don't we go back there together? Because it's not like, I don't know you at all, and there's a big manhunt for, just like, this guy should not have a job. If anyone saw this guy going, hey, I'm just going back here with this random good dude, just to go into the storeroom to get a t-shirt, you'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, just get the t-shirt, let him leave here. Why is he going back?
Yeah, you're fired.
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck is wrong with you? So Cooper ends up robbing this guy's key card. It turns out the t-shirt guy is a Butcher fan. It's weird shit where he's trying to show him.
Oh yeah, no, he take the key card. He actually tells him. He tells him the staff Like he tells them to
Oh, the
staff
code word, yeah.
the code. He's like,
What
yeah,
the?
we were all given a code word if we're stopped by police, just to use the say Hamilton if we're stopped. It's like, but why are you
So
telling?
generous with this information.
Like,
Why are you telling this
yeah,
guy? You're the reason serial killers get free of fucking places. What are you doing? Like, you're awful at your job. I mean, you're a nice guy, but Jesus Christ, cop on, man. But yeah, he tells him the code, and he gets a T-shirt, and yeah, he doesn't kill him, which is good. I was just like, maybe that's another positive. Yeah, he didn't kill this guy. But when he leaves again, he meets this fucking mother again. This
yeah,
Riley's friend's mother, and this like, I think I was writing something. I missed the fucking the start of this interaction. She was obviously getting more annoyed that maybe that they're not friends or something like that. But the mother eventually just kind of goes straight up fucking eyeballs him and just goes, Cooper, I have a fucking, like, she didn't say fucking, she goes, I have a dark side, okay? And it's just going, she just goes fucking a bit bananas and just like, where did that come from? What, like, what's happening in the scene? Why is she telling her friend's dad that I have a fucking dark side, don't mess with me? Just like, this just fucking absolute bananas. Again, this all just seems like kind of padding for the thing. If you take the music and the stupid shit out of this movie, you're probably left with about fucking 15 seconds, let alone minutes. But yeah, again, that interaction with the mother, just it's not real people talking. No one talks like this. It's weird. No one on the planet acts like that.
But I will say though, like, just before we go on, I will say, despite the fact that he kills people, he seems like a pretty good dad. Like he's genuinely, when he's talking to Year One, he was like, you know what, Riley was actually pretty hurt by the way her friends acted and stuff, and he's real joking with his daughter. Like he seems that the children are actually very, very important to him. He actually seems like a really good dad. He's the one who bought the tickets for them to go to this show because she did really well in the exams. He made a promise to her. He actually seems like a really good dad, apart from all the murdering. I suppose you can't have it
wholesome
all,
guy, man. He's a guy that you divulge your bank PIN number to when you met him. You're just like, hi, how are you? 9345.
He's a fireman. He saves lives and stuff for a living as well. Saves a life, takes a life. It's
one
balanced.
For you,
he's
one
like
for
Thanos,
me.
really. Yeah.
I love it. But here we get introduced to the FBI profiler lady, blonde lady, who you would expect would be the foil for this guy going forward, and would be in this, like, here's our big fucking foil for the
Our Tommy Lee Jones.
Fucking talking about. Sorry,
it's like Tommy Lee Jones after. It is like Tommy Lee Jones after after Harrison Ford in The Fugitive or whatever. Like you're thinking, it's the cop who was on the hunt for the thing. That I was thinking, is he going to recognize her because she's been hunting him for so long, or is there some sort of background between the two of them? He's her white whale kind of thing.
Right.
That's what you're expecting, but nope, fucking none of that. I'm not even sure what her name is.
I just have a blonde profile lady. She is apparently.
I have her down as the L one. That was it. That's all I have.
Yeah. She is. Who is she? She is.
She's a profiler.
Something. Yeah, it's Hayley Mills, and apparently, this is M. Night showing like the depths of complexity to his scripting and casting, where Hayley Mills, the profiler, is a child actor from the 1960s Parent Trap movie. So he's like, oh, why don't I get her as a profiler? You get it? Because this is a movie about trapping a parent. Do you see what I'm doing here? Do you see the levels of fucking mastery at show? Yeah, she's just... she doesn't even seem to know what movie she's fucking in.
No, but she's given us tons of exposition for exactly what's going on. So, she's basically telling everybody the plan at all times. Like, as you said, everybody's telling him the plan at all times. Like when he goes to that room of cops and he takes the radio, every time he takes out the earpiece to put it in his ear, it's right when someone has given him an integral piece of information. Like, it's not like halfway through a conversation going, oh yeah, it's going to cover Jimmy while he goes and takes his shit. Like, there's none of that. It's just pop earpiece in and someone going, okay, we know that he wants to do this. He's here because he's doing this. Look out for X, Y, and Z. And it's just, each time he puts the earpiece in, they just happen to be given valuable information.
The convenience on show is maddening.
Insane.
But yeah, touching on that, like after he stole the key card from the T-shirt guy, he sneaks into the employment area. And that's one moment in the movie when turned around and you see that wide shot and it's a load of cops having a briefing about catching him. And I did kind of go, "Ooh, fuck that." Like a little bit of nerves there, just like that is a potentially, how do you get out of that scene? But he just walks up behind them and just almost like joins the briefing, listens to it, then walks through them, gets a coffee, chats to one of them, walks out, grabs a walkie-talkie and fucking, "Hey man, look, I navigated
And
that
how did he
scene like a
know?
badass." It's fucking nonsense. There's no tension. There's just like...
And not just that, like your man, he's going in. He's like, well, shit. If I just turn around and walk out again, they're going to go, "Where are you going?" But I mean, if they do that, all you have to say is, "Oh, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt." You know, that's all you have to say. But he goes. So his decision is, "Okay, I'll just make my way." So he's bumping through them. Excuse me. Bumps through a whole mess of them while they're talking. Goes to and he's getting the coffee. But then this dude comes up and goes, "Where'd you guys keep the sugar?" And like, this should be the point of him going, "Oh fuck, they're going to realize I don't work there." Because he says, "I just have to go and refill all the bits and pieces." He goes, "Oh, don't worry about it." And he opens a bottom cabinet and pulls out the sugar. I was like, "How did you know that sugar was in that bottom right cabinet?" Because he just goes, "Yeah, hang on a sec. Here, he takes some of my stash," and hands him something. How did you know? That's exactly where it was. It's just mental that they just think, "Yeah, we'll just brush that off as if it's nothing." And the cops have waited till they've gotten inside the stadium while they're supposed to be looking for this dude to have a full
briefing.
Prepping. Yeah, have a briefing and a prep about what they're doing there. And that's like, surely this is pre-planned. Like, if this whole concert is a plan to catch this dude, why are you only doing it now? Isn't it? And how convenient that he's happened to walk in just as you're doing this as well. Yeah. Like, it's...
And the next scene, actually, it's almost like he knew the next scene when he walked into them, because he's like, maybe they don't even know what I look like. Because the next fucking scene, as you say, he goes back to Riley in the concert, puts the earpiece from the walkie-talkie, whatever, and just hears them at the very start of a profiler briefing, and she's like, yeah, they have CCTV footage of something around sometime, some area. We don't know what he looks like, but he might be, and they list off these fucking things. He might be a middle-aged white guy. It could be a black guy, a young black guy, or an old black guy. It could be a man, an elderly man with grey hair, or there's a guy, a guy, and he has an animal tattoo on his forearm.
A rabbit tattoo. Yeah.
You're going, "You saw that from CCTV footage? Oh my God." And when he hears this, Cooper looks down and looks at his wrist, and I don't know what the fucking animal, like, it's got a teeny
tiny... Must be a rabbit, I think.
Bunny rabbit. Yeah. Like, it's fucking tiny. It's the size of like a coin. And you're going, how did they fucking see, how did they get that from CCTV footage? Like, oh, is that a rabbit on that guy's wrist passing by a fucking shop or something? What the fuck? But then he gets one of these plastic snap-on bands from someone beside him and puts it over his wrist. But that's not a problem for him. It's never addressed. It's never going to be a problem. They're not going to be going around looking at people's wrists for something because they think he might have that. But the profile, they have no idea. They've gone into this thing with 20,000 people in the fucking concert. They say about 3,000 men, and they don't know what he looks like. They're looking for like an animal tattoo. It's
a man, like you said, because you said
a man.
Yeah, they said black.
He could be anything.
Yeah, they basically said he could be black. He could be anything. But yet,
old, young.
But yet they don't. But yet, when we see shots of them going and pulling people out to kind of check them, they're pulling people out the rows and going up, taking them away. Obviously, possible suspects or whatever. Every one of them is a white dude. They don't go and pull out an elderly dude or a black dude or anything. Every single one of them looks to be a 30 to 40-year-old dude, white dude around his age. Like, well, if you guys have absolutely no idea what this guy looks like, why are you just pulling out dudes that would be similar to this particular guy's age and race and stuff? Like, surely we should be on a whole spectrum. Like, what if it is some fucking 50-year-old white dude and grey hair, whatever? And you're just we're just not going to bother pulling those people out. Yeah, it's just it's so fucking lazy. And but then and another moment of convenience when he puts the earpiece in again, just as he's about to pull the fire alarm, and he puts the earpiece in, he hears the profiler going, "You know what? A guy like this, he's probably going to pull a fire alarm, and if he does, only women and children are getting out." And she's like, "It's amazing that you just heard that information at this given time when you're standing beside." Yeah,
Just like, so he decides not to do that
right,
because he's
yeah,
fucking
right
smart.
now. She's in on her radio earpiece, and she's talking to all the cops, everybody in the stadium, all the police officers, and telling them low profile. She's like, right now he's panicked. He's wondering how he's going to get out of here. He's probably going to create a distraction, like maybe pull a fire alarm. And as she said, he's just about to pull the fire alarm. She's telling all these. Why would she be telling all the cops this? They don't need to know any of this stuff. Just like the t-shirt guy doesn't need to know anything. They just need to know, watch out for sketchy mails. That's it. Like, we check every one of them on the way out of the building. It's just mental. It's just so convenient. It's so obvious exposition and just convenience. It's painful. Like, it's, as you said, this is one of the moments I did a proper full-on groan out loud at it. Like, just like, ugh. The only good part of this movie is the fact that a large popcorn in the Odeon is a large popcorn. That's it. That was the only highlight. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was at this moment when you just go, like, the convenience on show that it's kind of like something like it's written by a 12-year-old who just went to a weekend fucking screenwriting course. It's like this happens, and then that happens, and then that happens. Just like, but how, why? No, it doesn't matter. But this happened, and then now this is going to happen. Because the next fucking scene, Jesus, mother of fucking sweet divine, he decides to go up to the roof with his key card that all access pass or whatever. So he goes up to the roof, obviously to scope out a potential exit or whatever, and he's set upon by two FBI agents. Like, hey, whoa, buddy, what are you doing? He's like, oh, sorry, yeah, I'm sorry, there was an accident. I'll get to the accident earlier. He's just like, yeah, there was an accident downstairs. Just had to get some air. And they're just like, okay, no, show us your credentials or whatever. And he shows them a fucking card or whatever. And I said, okay, I know, get out of here, you dope or whatever. And he goes, okay. And he turns, but then he turns back to them and goes, actually, could you tell me who's in charge of this operation? And the SWAT FBI
who's
goes,
the older lady?
Thanks for asking. Why don't I tell you all about her? Here, she's this. And he's, oh, thanks a million for the information, officer. What the fuck is going on? That's the moment when I went, oh, fuck off, man. Like, what? Jesus Christ, this is like paint by numbers, writing by numbers. It's, oh, fucking hell, my daughter could write a better fucking, anyway. But, yeah, just before that scene, actually, there's an accident. And again, this is kind of, it's just telling you things. It's not really showing you things. He's in the queue for a chip and burger fucking takeaway place. And he's in the queue with other customers, and there's lots of people behind the counter. And just behind the counter to the left, he sees a chip fryer, and this is in the trailer. And I remember in the trailer going, oh, Jesus, is this one of his cool ways of getting out of scenarios? But beside the chip fryer is glass bottles of fucking something, and you know what it is. But and you're kind of going, oh, I've seen this in trailer. How's he going to do it? And it just cuts away to him walking away, and then an employee looking down in the fryer, and there's a load of fucking bottles in it which explode and burn her face, and just like, how the fuck? How did he do that? How did he sneak in there? Oh, did he jump the counter? Did he, like, how did all the customers just go,
There's
hey,
people everywhere.
Look at that guy. He's just putting bottles in that fryer. You probably shouldn't do that, buddy. It's just, you just cut to like, that happens. Let's move on to the next thing. Just like, how, man? How? It's so fucking lazy. It's so fucking stupid. And it's so, can't believe it's M. Night fucking.
And that's why they don't show it because they know how fucking insane it is. Like, he's looking over the counter like this, and he can see where the yolks are. And I think we see maybe his hand turn the knob to turn the heat up on the fryer. But that's all we see. We don't see how he managed to reach over and do it, how he managed to get these bottles and put them into a fryer without anybody noticing, when it's just a little kiosk. It's and like you said, it's just lazy, because if they had to show it, you'd realize that it's absolutely impossible. So let's just not show it at all, and just have your one walk. She comes upon it, and she's looking in and go, God, how did those get in there? Why are those bottles in there? And she stands there for fucking ages, like, get away from there. You can see the temperature's up. This thing is bubbling. This glass bottle. She's like, this looks like it could be dangerous. I better take a closer look and lean over. Like, and next thing, of course, the fucking thing explodes. This poor girl is scarred for life. So to be honest, you kind of deserved it. Like, you're just
silly. You're just being silly.
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
yeah, things started to ramp up fucking pretty quickly. I'm trying to really skim through this, but there's so much absolute fucking nonsense in this movie. It's brilliant. We'll try and skim through a bit, but back at the concert, okay, we're informed by Riley that at every show, one fan gets to go up on stage and sing with her and dance with her.
Dream Girl or something, is it?
Yeah, just like, oh, how is Master Dad going to orchestrate this to get Riley up on stage? So Cooper goes back and meets, of course, our director M. Night Shyamalan is just standing there, and he says, "Oh, you must be part of the crew or manager or something." And he's just like, "Yeah, my daughter, she's really enjoying the show. She's just, recovering from her illness. She had leukemia and she's battling that and all this fucking stuff." And there's 20,000 people at this fucking stadium. Don't think a few dads have tried this. But yeah, it must be Josh Hartnett's amazing acting and believability in this scenario that means M. Night is just like, what? Holy shit. I'm amazed. What seat are you sitting in?
What are your seat numbers?
Just like, what are your seat numbers? And it's just like, oh, fucking hell, here we go. And yeah, it's just... Side note, why does he put it? Because I trailed off M. Night's fucking movies after like Village and stuff. Just like it's a downward spiral for me. Is he in all his movies? Is he in all?
I don't know if he's in all of them. I don't know. I don't remember him from Knock at the Cabin. He was definitely in old. He was definitely in Old. He was definitely in Lady in the Water.
He might as well just wink at the camera.
Bad movie, incredible cast. Bad movie, incredible cast, that Lady in the Water. I don't know why. I'm not sure. I mean, some directors just like it. I know some put themselves in where you wouldn't even know them. Like, I think Rian Johnson was a stormtrooper or something. And you're like, that's because he probably dreamt of that as a kid, being in the Star Wars movie. So, he just threw himself into a thing. But that's great, frankly. That's fine. But yeah, he tends to give himself a speaking role in like he was in The Village as well. Yeah, he's been in all of them, I think.
Yeah, I would say that normally would take you out of the movie that you're in, but I was never in this movie anyway, so I didn't really fucking bother. Anyway, yeah, they get selected. They get to go backstage, which of course has less security than the rest of the stadium. It's amazing when they get to go backstage. Just like, hey man, yeah, Cooper, you just fucking, like the PA goes, you just wander out, you do whatever you want. Like, it's, yeah, we trust you from the 2-minute interaction I've had with you. You just do absolutely whatever you want. Riley goes on and does some fucking dance with her, and it's just like, we see Cooper then, and he looks to his left, and the profiler is just like fucking 7 feet away from him, and he's just staring and watching her, and she never sees him at one point. But yeah, there's one bit of awful ADR where it's over something. Just like, if you just hear the profiler lady, terrible ADR. If anyone tries to get backstage, let me know. I'm just like, oh, okay, there must be some feedback about like security's pretty lax there. Oh, we put a line in just like after he's got there. Oh, Christ Almighty!
And what was the point of Kid Cudi? Like the Kid Cudi played whatever that guy was with the long white hair. The singer. What was the point of that character? Like, because she mentions he was like her
milk or something. He's just like, oh, you got my milk wrong in the thing, and I'm just like, oh right, is he actually going to be clever here? Is he going to try and trick this guy's fucking food allergies or something like that? Because you see Lady Raven as well puffing on an inhaler and just going, okay, well, like, what's the point of this? And all of that is, there's no fucking point to any of it.
No,
at all.
There's no follow. Like, that's what I was wondering. Like, I was just saying, like, what was the point of that character? Because he's introduced, and you see he's a dickhead backstage, but he's all lovey-dovey on stage, and he's super nice to Lady Raven, but he's a dick to his staff, and he seems to have. He gives a weird look to. I assume he's gay. He's given like a look up and down at Josh Hartnett, but I hope it was Josh Hartnett and not the 12-year-old Riley. But he's like looking back and check me out kind of thing. But then that's the last we kind of see of him. So, well, what was the point of him? Why was he brought into the movie? He served no part of the plot at all. It was just a weird choice. And again, as you said that about convenience, like with your one who happened to be drunk at the top of the stairs that he pushed down. This one is backstage, and she's fucking the profiler looking around. It just so happens that they're bringing through someone who's pissed drunk, and he kind of just picks her up and brings her into the first aid tent just as your one is walking up. And so just so he can kind of turn his back, and she just turns around just as he disappears into the first aid tent. and is helping out this fucking
And
girl.
even when he's in that
It's
first aid
just
tent helping the girl, the medical nurse or whatever is just kind of saying to the PA, just like, "Oh, can we keep him? Jesus, he's just so fucking amazing." It's just like, what's happening here? Like, come on,
not like,
this is
who
like,
are you and why are you back here? Like,
yeah, just yeah, let me do my job. I'm a fucking medic. Stop fucking. Oh God, but yeah, at this point he has already it's asked the PA, is it okay? Can we just jump out the back here to get to our car? And she's like, yeah, it's totally fucking cool. You can do whatever you want, man. You are a fucking gem. Just like, we're not looking for a fucking serial killer here, lady. Like, have you not heard the brief that the t-shirt guy got? Oh God. But then he looks down the hall and there actually is a police screening. She goes, well, you will just have to just be screened on the way out. And half the time, I'm just kind of, just fucking try it. They're not going to fucking, they don't know who you are. They don't know who the fuck they're looking for.
yeah.
Just give it just chance it. So he
Like, how
decides,
could they, what are they going to? Because what are they possibly going to say to these people? Like, because you can see people getting screened in inverted commas as they walk out the main door. There's guys walking up. They get a quick pat down or a talk, and bang, they're out the door. Bang. What can they do with regards to this dude that they're going to know that it's him? Like, he's got his. You can't see any tattoo on his wrist because he has a fucking thing on. He's a dude. He's not black. So I mean, did they rule out all black guys? Some black guys? Are they checking? They don't see them checking all black guys' wrists or all old guys' wrists. They're literally walking up, and within 2 seconds, they're out. What are they possibly going to check with this guy Cooper to know that he's their guy or not? It's that he wouldn't be able to just black his way past. God, if you just hear what my daughter bought her this for the, like, it's ludicrous, absolutely ludicrous. But yeah.
But then he hatches a fucking master plan. He's like, okay, shit, what am I going to do? Backstage at this gig, and fucking Lady Raven's there, and he's just like, oh,
yeah. Actually, just before we get to that, we realized that at one point that how Lady Raven is in on the whole fucking FBI plan. Like, she walks back and he's hovering outside. She goes into the room where they're all the control kind of room where they've got the security cameras. Profiler lady is in there, and Lady Raven walks in and goes, "Any sign of him yet? Did you catch him yet?" And like, she's fully on, like, the whole gig as if it's set up just for her, just for this dude. Despite the fact that these things will be planned, these tours were planned like a year in advance, easily. You know, but and they only found out a couple of weeks ago that this butcher guy might be there. But the whole fucking concert, apparently, everybody, including your one who's on stage, knows that this is a setup. Like, the fact that they even have her in on it is bizarre. Like, FBI are morons. Why the fuck does every single person? It's just.
But that is the point where when she's talking to them and going, have you got him yet? I'm kind of going, she's in. It looks like she's going to be in the movie a bit more than I thought, and that's when I checked IMDb and I went, holy fuck, because I knew from the trailer, it's just like, oh, it's a real singer or something like that, and just like, oh, is there a promo for a real singer? And when I copped on that it was his daughter, I was just like, oh fuck, she's going to be the hero. I bet you she's going to be the fucking hero. He can't, because the profiler is just in a load of fucking scenes out of focus for some fucking reason. Like you're saying,
back of her head.
Shot, back of her head, or she, as you were saying, I think in this scene, she's talking in the background, the profiler, the fucking FBI profiler, and in the foreground is just fucking Lady Raven just standing there with a fucking dopey gaze, kind of going, oh yeah. why is the focus on, like, it's just fucking bananas. But anyway, Cooper's master plan is he goes over to fucking, I think it's Lady Raven, and just says, like, you heard about my daughter's condition? Any chance I could just talk to you for a second alone in your dressing room? Of course. Are you the guy that saved the girl? Are you of course, absolutely, of course. We're not on a fucking manhunt for a serial killer at all. That seems totally normal. So they go into her changing room, and he just flat out comes out with it and just goes, look, it shows her the app with the guy chained, and goes, look, I can push this button and fucking kill this dude with carbon monoxide poisoning or whatever. So it's you get me out of here or this guy's going to fucking die. And Lady Raven does like what everyone else would do in the scenario, right? She just does nothing and goes along with it and plans to fucking get him out. You just fucking shout, hey, the killer's here. Killer's here. Or just knock it. Or when they go outside the room, when there's all these cops around, just run away from her, knock his phone down, or just kind of go, there he is. Like, there he is. No, she,
Pull your
She
own
sneaks
phone out.
in.
Like, while you're walking along, just pull your own phone out and text fucking guy. Go, listen,
Yeah.
the dude that's about to get in the car with me, he's the killer. Get his phone because he can kill your man from his phone. Anything along those lines she could have done. But no. Or even say, you know what, fuck it. Let the dude fucking, let that guy in the fucking room die. Because if you let this guy get away, dozens more people could get killed. You know what I mean? So you're going to save more lives.
I'm going to sneak him
by
out.
calling this guy's bluff, you know?
But this is
nuts.
So then she sneaks them out in her limousine by just going, "They're with me." Okay. Don't need to screen anybody. They're with her. Yeah, cool. Let's go. And this is the moment when you're just going, "Oh, fuck me sideways." The celebrity singer, is now the bravest woman in the world. And she's fucking save the day by making really clever decisions for the next while. Oh Christ, when they're out in the car, like Cooper says, like, you can just drop us off at the corner, that's fine, and just, which you would probably go, okay, get the fuck out of my car, you fucking serial killer. So she changes,
and not just that,
she changes the game.
But when she changed it, as like, he says, drop us off at the corner, and she says, oh no, I'd really like to come back and see your house. Why don't I drop you off? But the reason he says I want to drop in the corner is, that's where my fucking car is. He's like, well, why would you drive us all the way back in your limo back to my house when my car is there? How am I going to get my car? What the fuck are you talking about? Go back to the house. Like, it's
a good point.
But again, as you said, this is her supposedly genius plan to get back and have an address for where he lives and all this shit. Like,
so then, he goes, oh, okay, because she says, she plays on Riley. She's like, can I see your house? And she's like, oh my God, Dad, please, yeah. So they go back to his house, and they get out of the car, and his wife is there, and son is there, and Lady Raven meets the whole fucking family. At this point, you have all the information you need. Your master plan is a bit fucking dangerous and a bit silly, but you know what he looks like, you know his address, and you know his name. So, like, get the fuck out of there. Jump in your car and say to the driver, get me the fuck out of here. Like, holy shit. But no. She goes, can I come inside? Why do you want to go inside the serial killer's house? Like, can I see your room, O'Reilly? And just, like, for some reason she wants to get inside because she's going to save the day, Phil. You know that? She's going to fucking save the day. So she goes inside the fucking house, and they sit down and have some fucking bread and cheese or some shit. And if you thought the movie couldn't get any fucking worse or implausible, like this, and they're trying to play up this like awkward thing where just like Cooper's going.
She starts asking them. She starts saying, "Do you guys know about the butcher?"
Like, you know the butcher?
It's like even if that was the thing, what, like, if that's supposed to be your segue into it, like the kid, the son, who I don't even think has any speaking lines, is maybe about what, 8, 9 maybe, and the daughter is 12. Why the fuck would you be talking about this in front of a kid anyway? Like, surely that should have been something the mother would have shot down immediately and go, what the fuck are you talking to my kids about a serial killer for, you dick?
Yeah. But even when they get into the room, like, they meet all the family and stuff, and he is in the hall in the house, and he goes over to her, he just like says, I don't know what you think you're doing. That man could die or whatever on the app. And then she says to him, it's okay, I won't do anything. And she's like, why are you here? What's your plan? Like, what are you doing? Like, did fucking script told you to be here? Like, what the fuck is happening? And then the next scene when things are supposedly getting tense, it's just preposterous and implausible and so fucking stupid and silly. When they're in the sitting room and Cooper is getting more and more like he just wants her to leave, and it's a totally understandable. Like, take the serial killer out of it. Can you please leave my house? Just like, I've asked you to leave now a few times, and you're not leaving. And he's like, I think you should leave. Come on, we'll let you leave. And she just goes, hey, I'll play a song. So she just jumps on the piano and just starts playing a song. But she plays an entire song. She sings an entire song, and you're like going, oh, this is another one of my like, oh, fuck off, like, what is happening? She said, Riley, do you want to join me for the song? And this is her master plan. So Riley gets on or sits down the seat beside her at the piano and puts her phone down, and everyone's watching. And then Lady Raven just takes the daughter's phone, puts it in her pocket. And again, no one sees any of this. It's just like,
Yeah,
whatever. But that's their
despite the
master
fact that
plan.
they're back, like they're sitting directly behind them, would go, hang on a second, why are you nicking my daughter's phone?
My daughter's phone. You fucking weirdo. Why don't you leave? And then, like, Cooper gets up and he's just like, no, okay, we need to leave now. And Lady Raven says, hey, let's take a selfie. And Riley, and that, oh, this is our master plan. And Riley's like, oh, I don't have my phone. I wonder where it is. So Lady Raven just grabs Cooper's phone and runs into the bathroom. She's like, what? And locks the door. And then he's like, hey, give me my phone back. But the family are like, hey, man, chill out. Why are you acting so fucking weird? This is unnecessary. And just like, so fucking this bitch is after fucking stealing my phone. She won't leave my house. Why am I being unreasonable here? Oh, fucking
all
hell.
of a sudden, the serial killer is the good guy. You're like, who is this mad bitch in my house? Like, what? He seems completely rational, and everybody else has gone completely off the deep end. Look, it's fine that this stranger just
locked herself
came into
in
our
the
house,
bathroom.
invited herself back, locked herself in the bathroom, and I'm banging on the door, and she's refusing to come out. And then what she does in the bathroom.
It's like this. It just the movie keeps on going up a level in absolute fucking bullshit, preposterous nonsense. It doesn't exist. I kept coming back to it, just going, this doesn't exist in the real world. He can't write dialogue. He can't write scenes that make sense in any way. If the acting was bad in a something that made sense, you kind of go, okay. But yeah, she goes on the phone. Somehow it's not locked. She goes in. She sees him. She's talking to him, and she's talking to the guy in the prison. And she's like, "Did you notice anything when you were being abducted about where you might be?" And he says, "Oh, it's something about a blue door and a broken fucking statue or something." So
yeah,
this fucking mastermind goes on social media to all her followers and just, hey guys, I need your help with this one. There's a guy trapped in a house and it's got a blue door and it's somewhere near a broken statue. And someone goes, oh, I know that fucking place. So she goes, you need to go there. Like, she's telling one of her fans, this little girl, to go to a fucking house where a serial killer is keeping a fucking prisoner.
Yeah, she's like, get some adults and go to this place
in this house. Yeah, maybe
get some adults and go to this place. You guys can do it. Like, the power of social media.
You can do it. Dude, come on, the power of my fans. You can do it, guys. Let's do this together. And that is like fucking hell. When your eyes roll so much you almost fall off your seat. It's just like, is this actually fucking happening? And you must say, throughout all of this, her acting is just so fucking bad. It's so fucking bad. But then Cooper eventually, you don't hear the family anymore. He went upstairs and locked them in the room. It's not even one of those where you don't hear him anymore and you go, oh, has he killed them or whatever, because he's too nice. He's just fucking this super nice guy who just happens to have a dark side. He breaks into the fucking bathroom and gets his phone back and sees that the guy has been saved in the last, 60 seconds. This girl and some other people have just saved this guy, and it's just amazing, the power of social media and the power of just, fucking celebrities. It's amazing. But yeah.
Can you imagine that conversation though? Like, imagine you're a teenage kid and you've just seen this thing on fucking TikTok and you go to the adult in the house, as a teenager, go, listen, this person I follow, Lady Raven, and that fucking person has no interest in who this fucking Lady Raven person is. Like, what about it? Well, she was just on. She said that someone's being held in a place that has a blue door with a broken statue, and that we need to go over because there's someone. You'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you take so long to convince the person to have. Why are you on about that? Is this a prank? Is this that your friends put you up to? Is this something you saw on these nutballs and Reddit or something put you up to this? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. But no, whoever the adult is goes, oh, fucking quick to the fucking Batmobile, and they're just, bam, straight gone. They've got in there, they've saved your man, the whole lot. Like, it's just all the time that she's been in the jacks for what? 2 minutes?
Yeah.
It's
that's
fucking
been
nuts,
generous. But yeah, when he breaks in the fucking door, he's looking at the phone, and he looks up and he's like, how did you do that? It's like, oh, fuck off, man. Just kill her, for fuck's sake. Oh, Christ. But then she's like, where are your family? And he's just like, get into the car. So he puts her in the car in the garage. And she goes full into like, oh, I know what the profiler's talking about, you with mommy issues and stuff. And she's like, this was fucking bananas, right? Oh.
She's basically doing what, like, you would have seen in, like, fucking Psycho or something like that, where he's been berated by his mother, and she just starts calling him. It's like a Red Dragon, in Red Dragon when, Red Dragon Ed Norton starts fucking saying all this stuff to him, and just, you're a dirty little skull because the kid has pissed himself. You're a dirty this, you're a horrible this, just to try and trigger the serial killer, and that's what she's trying to do. She's like, I know I didn't trigger you. You're always being a horrible little boy, and you're da da da. And he's like, I know what you're doing. You're trying to be my mother, da da da.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Why would she be doing this? Like, it's.
Yeah. Yeah,
I just can't.
It's bananas, and she doesn't have any acting chops whatsoever to pull this off. It just comes off as silly, and he's just like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Then, Jesus Christ, what happens then? The garage door opens and his family's standing there, and it's just like, oh my god, they're kind of finding out that he is the butcher. Oh, and what's the fucking he had at 2 moments before this, when we get into the final scene, just to preface this, like he's seen an old lady. He saw an old lady in the bathroom in the fucking stadium, which is just like some creepy old lady. And the next time he saw her beside the person who got the fucking chip oil all over her face, standing beside the thing in a very weird and obvious, like, you're a fucking ghost thing. So that aspect kind of comes in a little bit where, like, I did trying to say that there's some supernatural element to this now. Like, why are you showing what he's fucking seeing? It's just like, oh my god, it's just, he's got fucking mommy issues or whatever. But anyway, when the carriage opens, the Lady Raven just, like, opens the car, the door, and just slowly gets out of the car as, like, Cooper just starts to have some kind of fucking fit or something about, like, oh, the two worlds colliding, oh no, what's happening, all this fucking stuff. And then the family and her get away, leave the house. SWAT arrives, surround the fucking house completely. They break into the house, but he's not there. He's not there because, unbeknownst to his family in the fireplace, he's dug a tunnel to the neighbor's house or something. Just like, will we light the fire tonight? No, we can't light the fire because that's a tunnel, love. Just in case I get caught because I'm a serial killer. So, like,
but not only that, like, they find the tunnel, but, like, when he gets away by, he gets into full SWAT gear and he gets into the limo and goes, I'm going to get her out of here because obviously your man is on the loose again because he got out of his tunnel. Limo. He gets into the limo. But, like, how did he manage to get a SWAT guy?
Where's the limo driver?
Yeah, as well. He tells your man to get out. He goes, hang on, he wants me to get want me to get him off scene. So he asks your man to leave, get out of the limo. SWAT gear, yeah. But yeah, because he would have had to not only climb out and got that hole and pop up in the other person's garden, he would have had to have taken down a SWAT guy without any other SWAT guys knowing and killed him. Completely dressed him, left him naked, and put the gear on. None of that's mentioned. None of it's like, hang on a second, we just found Jimmy and he's fucking knocked out. He's in the nip. Like, obviously, he's dressed as a SWAT guy.
Seconds. Yeah, it would take longer than 20 seconds.
No. Now it's just he heads off, and he's got fucking just Lady Raven in it, and he escapes the scene in the limo while they're all looking for him.
And he handcuffs her in the limo to a metal fucking part of the door. Like, this is again, like, this lady is not only the hero of her fucking story and a great singer. Buy her stuff, check her out on Spotify. That's what the movie's telling you to do. Not only is she the hero and the bravest woman in the fucking world, she's one of the strongest people I've ever seen in my life. She gets she breaks the handcuffs off. They breaks a metal. Look, it's not a rundown limousine. It's a new limousine, but she breaks the fucking metal thing off the door to free herself. But she does. I thought it was fantastic. She doesn't do it by holding on to the metal thing and prying it off. She does it just by pulling one of her hands that has the handcuff on it, which then pulls the metal with the other handcuff. So, like, if I tried to do that, I'd break my fucking wrist. It's just like, but she just goes bang, 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 and she gets free. And it's this, like, the limo. She manages to open the window in the limo, and people outside see her, and of course, and they surround the car, and it's like, oh my god! And again, you're just going, whoa, this is a pretty difficult scenario to be in. I wonder how he's going to get out of this one. So everyone surrounds the car, and she gets out because she's a really strong woman. And
but why doesn't she shout, like, the window's down, and she just goes, help, help? Why didn't she shout, the butcher is in the driving seat? Just shout that out.
Car.
And then she managed, because because she manages to get out of the limo. And again, she just walks away sheepishly. She should be going, everybody here, citizens fucking arrest.
Get the
In the
fuck
driver's
out.
seat, the fucking butcher is there. Don't let that guy go. Because the cops get there like that. The cops appear 2 seconds later. They surround this fucking limo. They clear all the people out of it. And they fucking throw a couple of shots through the windows. Like they tell him, get out of the car, get out of the car. He doesn't move. So they shoot in to take him down. The sniper guys take him down. It explodes. And what they find inside is actually he's propped up a SWAT helmet and gear and all that. So not only in this time she took to get out of the car, he's gotten changed into a new set of clothes. He set up a fake yoke. He's managed to get out and escape through the door that we never see open. Everybody would have seen him walk away because how would they have not? Like the car is completely loads of people, and then there's just a throwaway line over the radio. He must have escaped when we were clearing all the people out. Like, how? Like, how? How did nobody notice the door open and this guy get out? And he would have had to get out, like, out of the passenger side, but if he get out the driver's side, he had to get out and then turn around and place a fake, like, fucking set up body thing with the helmet and everything, close the door.
But he did all that in 20 seconds as well, which is pretty...
it's fucking nuts.
Less. But then, of course, we get a scene of, like, Lady Raven then meeting the guy she saved from the app on the phone and giving him a hug because she's the hero of the fucking story. It's just so amazing. It's just, oh my Christ. Then we go back to the family home and the cops are like, look, you need to get out of here. Profiler's like, you need to get out of here. And his wife, Cooper's wife's like, no, I'm going to stay, blah, blah, blah. And they say, we'll have 2 cop cars outside. But it doesn't matter because these cops are completely incompetent because they didn't see him come back into the house because the wife turns around. And
terrible.
Is just sitting there at the fucking kitchen table, just like, hey, how are you?
But straight away I was like, terrible mother, because what she says is, he goes, okay, don't your kids are with your sister, and look, we can get you and bring you there as well, so you don't have to be here. And she goes, no, I don't want to be around people. I was like, hang on a second, are you genuinely saying you don't? Your 2 children, these kids are traumatized. Just found their dad's a serial killer, and you're just like, nah, don't want to be around people, to be honest. I think I'll just sit here, make yourself a drink or whatever. What the fuck? Like it's Yeah, that's what it's in tie with the rest of this shit movie.
Yeah. But she says she doesn't want to leave and blah, blah, blah. She turns around, she sees him, and she then divulges that the twist of the fucking story, if it is a fucking twist, is like that she knew something was up. She knew he was a butcher, or she knew he might be the butcher. Something was up because some of the cleaning fluid smells were different than the normal cleaning fluid smells that I normally smell from your clothes or your fire brigade outfit, and just like, okay, whatever. And then she said, and once when the McDonald's next door said something and you lied to them, I was like, fucking, that's a pretty convincing lie, she said. So convincing that she went, I think you might be the butcher. What? What the fuck are you talking about?
But and the way she set it up is she went to one of these the houses. She kind of followed him to one of these fucking places where he done his bits and pieces, and the place was empty. But what she left a receipt for the tickets to the show there, so that when the cops went along, they would find this thing. Go, okay, we found a ticket to the show here. That must mean he's going there, and that's that. Because there's a tip off. So they go, hang on a second. Tip off, he's going to be there. We found the ticket. Let's put 2 and 2 together, and we assume he's going to be there. But her yoke is like, I wasn't entirely sure. I gave him the tip off, and if it turned out you weren't the killer, fucking great. That's grand. But I just thought I'd set this massive fucking thing up in case it turns out you are a murderer. And while we waited for this whole concert and tour and all the rest, for everything to be put together, the cops to do their plan, the whole lot, we'll keep on staying in the same bed. That can happen, families. And this guy apparently didn't pick up on it at all. And when he said, when you got a different smell from cleaning stuff, why didn't you just ask him? Just say, listen, why wouldn't that be your first question? Rather than straight to, he must be a serial killer. Why isn't it, listen, a lot of the stuff you're wearing comes in with this weird smell. Are you using something new in work? Have you been using something in the house? Like if your missus came in and there's a smell of fucking petrol or something, you'd be going, Ali, what, why did you smell the petrol? Oh, here's the reason. I was fucking, the car, I had to fix something on the car or whatever the fuck, you'd have that. But no, she didn't think to ask that. She just thought, I'll get onto the FBI instead.
Massive leaps in deduction there by her to kind of go, maybe talk to your husband. Talk to your husband.
I knew that there was going to be a twist, or there was going to be more than just her being the man, because Alison Pill is too big of an actor,
Yeah.
especially right now. She's been in a bunch of stuff. I was like, there's no way they'll just have that and then we'll see him either get caught or escape. I was like, once I saw her on the cast and then didn't see her until we saw his family,
She's going to play a part.
there's obviously going to be something with her, because she's too big of an actor for it to be that.
Yeah.
To not be that.
Yeah, and so Cooper has a fucking butcher's knife because he's a butcher, pulls it out. And at this point as well, he just takes off his top. We don't really know why, so he spends the rest of the movie shirtless. Bring in the female audience, I don't know. Female Lady Raven fans. But this is probably the only bit of decent acting that you see from Josh Hartnett. God love him. It's a nice little monologue about, anger eating him from the inside, and the look in the eyes from people when he kills him brings him kind of peace and stuff. And he's angry at his wife that, like, now because of this, I'm not going to see my children grow up and stuff. And it's just, you get a sense of that kind of fucking two minds battling each other or whatever. And but you get a snippet of it. And then it says, like, I'm going to have to kill you now. And his wife goes, well, let's have some of Riley's cake first. Will we have a slice of cake together? And he's like, that's a fucking great idea. Let's have some cake. So they have some cake, and she has a little bite, and he just monsters through the cake and looks down and rubs his two fingers on the plate and licks his lips and goes, you found my bag, didn't you? She says, yes, I found your bag. And she laced the cake with some fucking roofie shit. And he's like, oh, fucking hell. So he gets up and goes towards her to try and fucking hit her, and he's stumbling all over the place and walks into the sitting room, and there's two fucking SWAT guys waiting there. How long have they been waiting there?
Well, this is it, because I was like,
here all the time.
Well, this is the thing. I was thinking, I thought then, first of all, I was like, that's the sting. That's why
was this a plan
she was
all
setting
along?
this up. That's why she didn't want her kids there, and that's why they're setting this up. But the thing is, she tells him there's no reason to lie to him. He says, how did you get the drugs? And she says, well, the cops were too busy looking for you. They didn't notice me even getting the bag. So it couldn't have been a setup, because then the cops, the SWAT, everybody would have known about it. But she fully says, no, she swiped the drugs out of the bag on the sly. Yeah. So, if it was a setup, then why would she have to lie and say, why would she be lying to him at all? Why lie and say that about the drug-wise? Like, she wouldn't, there's no reason to lie to him now, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's no point to saying, this is what I just happened to get these drugs out of your bag. But she purposely says the cops didn't even know I have these. Why would lie to him if it is a setup?
Yeah, Clunky doesn't even come close to it. And again, the reason where he gets fucking properly tasered, like, he sees this image of his mother again, and she's like, I accept you, come closer, and blah, blah, blah. And that's when he just gets tased by two cops. But he gets tased about 6 times, and he's still fucking going.
Oh, yeah.
And he's roofied out of his fucking mind, just going, Jesus Christ, he's a pretty strong dude, man.
Like, he's just fucking thing, and it's just, he's up and he's fucking, of course, he's bare-chested and he's thing, so every muscle is fucking flexed in his body, and he's, and he pulls them off, and he's, but yeah, I think he gets tased by, like, definitely at least 4 tasers it takes actually to get him down. Like, fucking hell. It's, and it makes no sense at all.
Yeah, and then, like, our final few scenes is he's escorted out of the house by the cops, and his kids arrive from the sister's house or whatever, and Riley runs over and gives him a hug and, Dad, and whatever, and this is all allowed to happen. This guy.
Yeah, your one says it. The profiler goes, The profiler goes, let her through. Let her through. It was like, what if he grabbed her, held her by the neck, and went, let me go, or we're going to snap this kid's neck? You know what I mean? Like, it's just,
because
this guy's a psychopath. You know what he's capable of, like.
Yeah, and he's killed. Like, we were told he's killed 12.
Minimum 12 people. Minimum. Yeah. We know they've found 12 bodies. We don't know how many he's actually killed. But they know 12 minimum.
This is that moment that I thought they were going to, like, is this that one redeeming thing where we're going to get, in movies like this where if you get 2 decent actors, like kid and fucking father, you might get some kind of, emotional fucking payoff or something like that, where she's going to go, is it true? Is it real? Whatever. Is that the reason that they're allowed hugs, so they can have a dialogue? And maybe she'd go, look, and she'd echo Lady Raven's wonderful words of, like, I release you, Dad. no, she doesn't. She just hugs, and he goes, "Oh, you know," I don't even know if he says I'm sorry or anything. He just walks off. But then he stops and goes, "Hey, there's a bike on the ground there. I might just lift that up and just straighten it up. It just fell over." And again, he's just allowed to do this. And
Yeah.
I watched it, like, it's in about 3 seconds, pick up the bike. He he has not stolen any little bit off the bike. He's ripped an entire fucking spoke off the back tire of the bike and hid it in his wrist. These cops are just incompetent. I don't know how he did that. That's pretty impossible to do that.
Yeah.
So he gets lumped away in a fucking big SWAT van in the back of it and goes off. But we get that close up of his face as he starts to giggle in the back of the van and pulls out the metal. There's no other cops in the back of the van with him. He's obviously chained in there.
That's bizarre. Yeah.
Yeah, and he pulls out the spoke from the bike, and it's like, and he starts to laugh at the camera like, ha, ha, ha. And it's just like, why are you laughing? You're still in the back of a fucking locked SWAT van. And there's the entire fucking SWAT team are here. Even if you get out of the van, you're just going to be shot within seconds. Like, I don't understand your master plan, why you're laughing. And then the movie fucking ends, but it doesn't end because we get, for some fucking reason, we get a mid-credit sequence of T-shirt guy again, looking at the news, and they say, "Oh, his name is something Cooper or whatever," and we have an image of him, and he sees him, and he's like, "Oh my god, that was the guy! Oh my god, I'm never talking to anyone in work again." It's supposed to be played. Is this supposed to be funny? Like, it misses on every fucking count. Yeah, and that's the end of the movie.
You know what I thought was going to happen, right? Not before, just before this. When I thought that when he came back into the house, right, that the wife, Alison Pill, was going to turn around and she was going to be in on it. I thought that was going to be the twist. They turn around and she'd go, "How the fuck did you get caught?" Or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
that would have been fucking
you got
cool.
caught or something. Yeah. Like, yeah, something like that. Or when even when they came back to the house, when Lady Raven came back to the house and she thought she was going to get away and she thought she was doing the thing, and then it turns out you're fucked. The whole family are in it. The fucking kids are serial killers. Or who knows? But just something like that where we think that Lady Raven's going to save the day, but she's in for far more than she bargained for. But no, it's just what more by the numbers convenient stuff for her to save the day. It's fucking pants, man.
It's.
I'm just glad it's over.
When it properly ended, I've never seen a cinema empty as quick. Everyone was already. Like, everyone had packed up all their stuff already. Just like, right.
Oh, I was nearly out the door when your man came on. When your man came on, like, after for the credit sequence, and I turned around, and then it's like, oh, I can't believe I even turned around for this shit.
It's boring, no tension, awful dialogue, implausible, stupid, too much singing, just silly scenes. It's really poorly written. It's just so fucking lame. It's like he wrote it in about 10 minutes. And I kept throughout, I was just like, how the fuck is this getting made? But I think he self-finances all his fucking movies, somebody said. And I was just like, oh, well, that's why it got fucking made. It's a very expensive promo for your daughter's music career. It cost about 30 fucking million quid. Just like, what the fuck? No one would give any money to make this movie if you read the script. You just go, why the fuck am I doing this? Like, get a record company to pay for it. It's awful.
It's a bad movie. Yeah. Well, look, well done, Daz, for taking us through that, because I can imagine that must have been painful. I only took, maybe one page of notes because I was just so fucking bored out of my mind. So I can imagine for you to have to give us a coherent walkthrough. Fair play to you. You can go and take a shower to wash it off you or something. But look, that brings the end of our episode, guys. Thanks for sticking with us through this very long review of a terrible ass fucking movie. We will be back next week with a fantastic movie, because next week we'll be doing Alien Romulus. Isn't that right, Des?
Yes.
Yes. So we'll have a great one next week, and we'll try to keep the spoiler-free section long on that one as well, like we did with Wolverine and Deadpool and Wolverine. But yeah, look, thanks for listening as always. Keep on reviewing and sharing and liking and all that good shit. And if you have any feedback, feel free to send it through. So look. That's goodbye from me and goodbye from Daz, and we'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.
Shamalama ding dong.